Wine, women, and wealth. These are the excitements of this world. There are many people who believe that people who come from Hindu families and become Christ followers, they believe in God, they believe in Jesus Christ, and they receive this faith because they will get incentives like wine, women, and wealth. There were many allegations against me also when I first believed in Jesus. Let me tell you, it is a lie. Nobody believes in God for these things. People believe in God to know Him. People believe in God to obtain the life in the age to come that He gives freely by grace to everyone who believes in Him. People believe in God because He helps them to make sense of the things that are happening in this world and the things that are happening to them. People believe in God because they are seeking eternal peace. They are seeking joy, everlasting, that people or things or circumstances of this world cannot steal from them. To those who believe that I came to this faith for money or for women or for wine, let me tell you, I don't drink wine. I don't have a woman in my life, and I don't have that much money as much as my relatives and my friends and my parents already have. I did not believe in Jesus for these worldly things. Whatever I need, I believe Jesus would provide. But nobody changes their faith for all these temporal, ephemeral, material blessings of this world. They want to know God. And when they come to know God, and when they get closer to God, when they know God more and more, they are ready to sacrifice anything and everything to maintain the relationship that they have with God. People who thought that I came for some women, by now at least they would have realized. 5 years I have been divorced. I don't have a wife, I don't have a girlfriend, I don't have any woman in my life. Still, I continue to believe in Jesus. The relationship that I have with Jesus is much more precious than the relationship that I can have with any woman or any man in this world. People who thought that I came to this faith maybe because they promised me some money, some wealth, some possessions, some things of this world. Nobody promised me anything. Nobody gave me anything. After I became a believer, I started becoming a person who would understand other people's pains and try to help them. Whatever material benefits I had, I started sharing with people who are in need, people who are going through troubles that they cannot express, people who cannot go out and beg. Let me tell you, wealth of this world is exciting, of course. Everybody would want a big house, a spacious car, and a well-paid job. God is not against any of these things. You can get all of these things with or without faith in God. But God offers something that is much more worthier than all these things. Honestly, I live with my parents in their house. I don't own a car. I don't drive a car. I have money which I use for ministry and for my studies. Everything that I have consecrated for God's work. But whatever I lack today is not sufficient to separate me from my relationship with God. The relationship with God brings something more, something deeper, something that people cannot steal. God is my Father, my closest friend, my leader, my guide, my shepherd. I went through many difficult times, challenging times. In those times, people asked me, "Where is your God?" I said, "The Lord is closest when we are going through the most painful trials and troubles of our life. God is close to the brokenhearted. Even when it felt that God has abandoned me, I prayed the prayer that Jesus prayed upon the cross. Lord, I commit my spirit to you. Because apart from him, I have no good thing. Those who have known God intimately would know that whatever they may gain in this material world would not suffice and would not surpass the need for God. You cannot buy or sell a relationship with God. It is much more than that. It is a relationship of love. It is a relationship of friendship. It is a relationship of devotion. It is a relationship that would last forever. It may have started at some point in time in your life, like it started at some point in time in my life, but it is forever. It is never going to end. God is not a means for financial gain. God and faith in God and godliness is not a means to become great in this world. But if you have a relationship with God, and if God knows your name, you're already great in this world. When God called Abraham, God said to him, "I will bless you, and I will make your name great." Abraham didn't say, "God, make my name great." Just because you know this God, and you have a relationship with him, because he is great, you will also become great. It's not great in the sense of you will become a millionaire or billionaire, a famous person with a lot of wealth, big houses, cars, and servants and wives. You may get all these. It's up to God to decide. But you will be remembered for your relationship with God. There were so many great kings in this world who came and died. Great pharaohs, great Nebuchadnezzar. Even in India we had great Ashoka. We had the Mughals, Akbar the Great. All these kings were wealthy. They had everything that they needed. They did not lack anything. But when we talk about people who had a relationship with God, like David or Abraham, we don't even consider their wealth, position, or status in this world. We just ignore it. We just overlook it. Why do we do that? When we talk about David's faith in God, we are not thinking about a king who has everything and he's believing in God. When we think about David, we are thinking about a person who has an intimate relationship with God, whether he is in the desert alone, singing songs to his God, whether he is fighting a war, whether he is defeating the greatest enemy of Israel, Goliath, and whether he is being pursued and chased by his father-in-law, despite doing no wrong to him. In all these episodes of David's life, these things happened before he became king. All we see is his relationship with God. When we remember David, we don't remember a great king in his splendor like Nebuchadnezzar or Akbar. When we read, meditate, and think about David, we see a human being in relation with God. God made him king, and he was the greatest king of Israel. It is during David's time that Israel came together, all the 12 tribes, to worship God in Jerusalem. There has been no other time in Israel's history when all people were so aligned with God, when they had this temple at its zenith, at its, at its topmost condition. When Israel was undefeatable, nobody dared to set their eyes upon Israel. Nobody tried a war against Israel. Nobody wanted to mess with Israel. So much was David's greatness as a king. But when any Israelite or any child of God from Christian faith reads about David, the image that he gets is not the image of a Nebuchadnezzar kind of king, or a Pharaoh kind of king, or an Akbar kind of king. The image that he gets is of a humble man, of a shorter stature, elegant, beautiful, composing songs to God, though he is a fierce fighter, and worshipping his God. When he is alone, when he is surrounded by others, when he is successful, when he seems to be like a failure. In all times, God is close to him. I was so excited by this character that when I read the Bible, the Old Testament, for the first time in my life, I went through David many times. And I used to underline the repeated words, like the words that are repeated many times. And one word stuck out for me, and that word was sought, seek, in an NIV Bible. And when I studied that word, I understood that David, in all his circumstances, good, bad, evil, whether people were kind to him or hurting him, at every point in his time, particularly before making decisions, critical, crucial decisions, David sought the Lord. David sought the Lord. This particular phrase comes so many times. David sought the Lord. David wanted to know what his God wanted him to do at that particular point in his life. Let me tell you, my dear brother, a person who believes in God does not believe in God for ephemeral, temporal, this worldly benefits. He believes in God to know the creator of the universe. He believes in God to have a relationship with the one who created him. He believes in God for life in the age to come, where there will be no more sufferings. He believes in God because he knows that no matter who turns away from him, who turns against him, who fights with him, who stands with him, God is always with him and for him, because he is a loving God. God of Israel is a loving God, a living God, a loyal God. He is loyal to his covenant. He is a living consciousness. He is a loving creator. The God of Israel is a loving, living, and loyal God. This combination you will not get in any gods, any lords in this world. And Jesus is that God in human form. That is why we worship God. We become believers of God. When we increase in knowledge of God, we stick to him, regardless of troubles, challenges, persecutions, and difficulties. God bless you. Have a great day.